sit up on that bolster so you can allow your spine to have all three natural curves. So your low back has that natural curve. Your mid back is a little more, it doesn't move, it's not as mobile as much, right? But think about that lifting up a little bit higher. And then you have the back of your neck as well. And so for a moment, just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, create a little bit of tension there so you can really be aware of what tension feels like. Sometimes we live in the state of tension and we don't even realize. I want you to just create a little bit more. Seems counterintuitive, but take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, consciously feel that part of your body relax. Maybe even soften your eyes or allow them to close if that feels okay. And just observe for a moment. So maybe you can start to think about shifting from a place where we need to react to everything, right? We're like designed, we've been taught to do so. Can you shift from this place of needing to react to just a headspace or a place where you can just observe? And so just observe maybe your physical body, maybe that space in your shoulders that you allowed to relax. Maybe even just the length of your spine from your tail all the way up to the base of your skull. And you might even then start to just observe just the natural rhythm of your breath. And then immediately, if you're like me, you will just automatically, your brain switches back to that reaction mode where you want to take a bigger breath in or manipulate the breath in some sort of way. But without any judgment, can you just maybe shift back to that place where you're only observing? You're observing the rise and the fall at whatever rate that happens. And if that starts to come with discomfort, maybe you just observe that discomfort. Rather than react to it. Remembering that, of course, it's a practice. It's not about sitting down and mastering anything right away. beginning to play with that idea, or just awareness of when our mind wants to shift to that place where you need or feel that need to react. What would be possible if you could just observe it? And maybe bring it back to your physical body. Observe the sensation in your shoulders. Observe the length of your spine. And even observe the tips of your fingers. And maybe you just find one point on your body, like a physical anchor that you connect to, that you really can just stay there for a breath or two, maybe even more, in that space of observation. So observing if my fingertips are soft, or observing the fact that your spine is long. Observing the fact your shoulders feel at ease. No matter what, it's still just happening, and you are here to observe it. Maybe that is your anchor. You've become acquainted with a part of your body that feels grounding, something that you can come back to. When your mind has maybe shifted into that place of reaction or needing to fix or fight or change. So as we practice this sort of observation in a moment of like quiet, a moment of pause on our mat, this becomes part of almost like our muscle memory, right? We can create this as maybe a tool in our toolkit for when something is placed in front of us, or we're being asked to do something that might immediately switch our brain into a place of reaction. No knowing that so much is temporary. What would be possible if you were to pause? Come back to that physical anchor in your body that grounds you and switch to that space where you are able to observe. Maybe that lessens the reaction or softens it. And take a big breath in right here. Slow breath out. And breathe all the way in. And all the way out. Take about 5 or 6 more rounds of breath like this, where you're lengthening your inhale. Noticing the pause at the top. And then lengthening your exhale. Noticing the pause at the bottom. Maybe once you breathe all the way in, you pause at the top. Come back to that physical anchor in your body. Find ease there. Observe there. And slowly breathe out. Maybe even slowing down your breath on the exhale. And so when we put the emphasis on our exhales as well, when we slow our exhales down, we're able to tap into that parasympathetic, that rest or digest part of our nervous system. Maybe another tool in your toolkit you can put in is just to think of your exhale being just as important, if not more, than your inhale. So when it comes, maybe make it slow. Find a little more ease in it. Maybe that is another tool that can soften your body, your mind, just a little bit more. One more big breath in right here, nice and easy as you sit up nice and tall. And then just open up your mouth, that slow exhale, let it feel good. And whenever you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes open, let in a little more light. Take any movement that you might need in the neck. Roll the shoulders if you need to take the legs out in front of you. There might be sensation there. Maybe you were just